we're here at the coffee bodega, or the area where we bring the coffee all down from the mountain, and we basically, the first stop when it comes down from the mountain, after getting the shell or the actual fruit removed, the first place that the bean actually comes is right here. So we're about to show you around El Bodega del Café. First thing that happens is the truck will come down from the mountains. We've got one of the trucks we're working on right here. Mostrar el carro. This truck right here is exactly how everything gets loaded up, right from the mountains right into the back. Comes in these bags right here, and it'll come down wet, and we'll weigh it on this scale right here. Normally this bag could be as much as 200 pounds when it's wet coffee, but this has already been dried, so we'll throw the bags on the scale right here, get a weight, and a pre-dry weight, and then we'll get an after-dry weight like this right here. And here's an example. Like I said, these are already dry, but we'll show you what they look like when they're wet. We're about to head up to the mountain here in a minute. Stay tuned for that. All right, so this is actually the shop. We do a lot of things here. I do some of the stuff with Bone Tactical Knife and Tool here right now until we just moved some of the stuff in here. We're about to move to another spot. By the time this video posts, we probably won't be doing the Bone Tactical Knife and Tool stuff here, but we're also doing a lot of our vehicle builds here. As you can see, Johnny is working on the bumper of one of the new cars, and over here we've got the other part of the shop. So we're just, obviously a lot's in disarray and we've got a lot going on. From here we'll take you straight up to the solar, or the patio, where the coffee is actually dried. Once it comes in here, it goes right up there and gets dried, and I'm about to show you that. Once the cafe gets brought up from the mountain, it gets put out, and we use these rakes right here and just spread all the coffee, the beans, on the ground, and it's dried naturally in the sun. So from this point, once it's dried, then we'll go ahead and pile it all up when it's ready to here. And then from here, they'll bag it up. The already dry beans, like I just showed you, will go in a sack. And from here, they'll go on to be roasted. For whatever kind of roast that you like, we can do. And now we're gonna go right to the mountain, and we're gonna show you where these beans came from. Okay, so right now, guys, we're on our way to we just left the bodega, as we showed you guys, and we're on our way up to the coffee fields. They're several hour drive, and that's the closest little town is where we just left. So the rest of the time today, we'll be doing the roads will be getting progressively worse, and we'll be doing a lot of off-road driving through the mountains here in the Land Cruiser. So we'll show you guys all of the different and the most interesting parts of the journey. We're here. This is the finca right up this road right here. This little turn we just passed through, you got to be pretty experienced driver. It may not look that bad on video, but a few cars have rolled right there, so it's always fun. Vámonos. All right, we're here at the Finca del Café, the coffee farm, our main farm where we bring in all the coffee. You might actually recognize this location from the kidnapping hostage rescue video that we did, where we did a reenactment of some of the work that we offer as far as on the other side, on the tactical side of hostage rescue and some of those things. Right now, what we'll do is we'll show you a little bit of the farm. What we've got here is the actual coffee plants all the way to the end of the coffee. As we've showed you guys, we're here at the farm. What we can offer here is when you come here, you get your cup of coffee right from the farm itself. You can have a traditional home cooked meal. We've got rooms up here where we could camp in. or we can offer camping or some really primitive lodging here, or we can, it's close enough where it's, you know, an hour or two drive depending on how fast you go. I can do it in an hour, but most people probably wouldn't want to ride with me if I'm doing it in an hour, so I'll give it about a 2-hour drive, really rough conditions. And then we get out here and I'll show the coffee plants. And these are the coffee beans themselves. This is how they look. And then here we go right here, all the way down. And basically you'll bust this open, and that's the bean on the inside there. Right there. So that's the shell. And then we'll show you guys a machine over here that does this. So this is not done by hand. They're picked by hand. And then we go up here to the machine where it actually takes these out. And then these are ready to be dried in the patio where we just came from. Here's the coffee that we'll all get to enjoy straight from the farm. Drink a little bit of coffee right on the farm here. All the coffee that comes from the fields that we've just showed you guys comes right here to this machine. Now this machine we've had for, well, the family that I'm working with has had for longer than I can even tell you, and it's been rebuilt and rebuilt and rebuilt. And at one time this was just done by hand, but we finally have a machine and some electricity up here, and I can show you guys the coffee beans are just picked and loaded right in here. So we'll just have bags up here and we'll load them right in the machines, and then we'll take you downstairs and we'll show you what actually happens with the machine itself and the process itself of running these coffee beans through the machine. This breaker that he's just pointed out turns on a pump over here for water, and el agua es de la montaña o sí, ya es bajo la tierra o no, quebrada normal. Ah, okay. It's natural water from the mountain. Esta otra viene siempre a la lavadora. This is the cleaner, they call it, or the washer. The water that comes in here keeps it helps separate and keeps everything clean. Ahora voy a encender la máquina de pulpar. He's gonna turn the machine on that removes the pulp. Now that the machine's on, you can see as it comes out from here, you've got actual coffee beans that when they were upstairs, they were whole. And it separates, as you can see, that's the pulp or the hull, the fruit of the coffee. It separates the two. And the final process is the actual cleaner right here. It separates over here and then cleans over here. Dumps the seeds for the beans down in this bag. Only coffee beans in the final bag. When you guys come on a tour with us, there's a lot of things that we can offer. We can offer almost limitless options, but one of the things that we're about to go do now is we're gonna head over to some aguas termales, or an area where there's some warm water, hot springs. Some water enters up from a low enough level at the earth where it's warm and comes out and warms up a river that we're about to go to. So we'll show you guys that, and from there we'll, depending on how much time we have, we may do some other things. But really one of the biggest highlights of today is this, just driving on the 4x4 and really seeing the nature and this basically organic mountain where things are still done as they were many, many years ago. And the best part of the tour. Okay guys, to finish off the tour, we've got the food here, and we're in Quimastan, Honduras, Santa Barbara, which is probably the biggest, what you would consider, or the closest to what you would consider an actual city anywhere around here. And this is the food that I would recommend, best food off the grill. We've got a hotel here, great hotel, so if you're coming in on a tour, this is one of the places I would recommend staying the night if you want something more upscale. It has all the amenities, air conditioning, hot water, all that, and like I said, great food. So closing out the coffee tour, lots of different options, so many options out here, just so many things you can do, anything you can think of in the outdoors or in the mountains, and then just lots of off-roading and different outdoor activities. Bone out. No, él, sí, él solo aparece furioso. Si le muestras miedo, sí se te va a tirar. Aparece si no, furioso. No. Para otros perros, sí. Tal vez sí. Él no te gusta otros perros, pero sí. Pero personas. Mira, ya está durmiendo, mami. O en la noche, tal vez no pasar en la noche, mejor. Sí, yo está durmiendo. No, él súper tranquilo. El novia de él.